Good morning, everyone. Welcome to what I hope will be a really fun video for me to film and for you guys to watch. I am in Zion National Park, of course, in southwestern Utah. This is probably my, 8th time here, 10th time here. I've been here a bunch. I haven't done most of the really normal things here, like the really touristy, popular things here, because this park is so heavily visited. When I do visit, it's focused on other sections of the park other than Zion Canyon. But I'm in Zion Canyon right now. I did not mean to come here on this trip. This was supposed to be a 2-day trip to far northern Utah, but I think the first day of the trip, or maybe the day before the trip, I thought, you know what? Let me check this shuttle schedule for Zion Canyon. So for Zion Canyon here in the national park, usually there's a shuttle bus, a free shuttle bus that shuttles people through the canyon just to cut down on people driving. You're not allowed to drive while the shuttle bus is in operation, which is good in that it keeps it not so crowded. It's not a nightmare to drive through the place, but the downside is that you can't drive yourself around the park. You can't go where you want to go, when you want to go. You're beholden to the shuttle and its schedule and everything. And so I looked at the schedule and I saw that today, or this week rather, is the last week before the shuttle goes into effect full-time for the season. In 3 days, let's see, today is Wednesday. In 3 days, on Saturday, the shuttle starts, and it'll keep going until like December or November or something like that. And so once I realized that, I thought, you know what? Let me take a lightning quick trip down to Zion, take one thing off of my Zion bucket list, and then I guess head back. I'm going to drive back north later today. But the object of my attention here is a very popular hike, very famous hike, infamous hike, some would say. You've probably guessed what it is by the title of this video and by the thumbnail, and that is Angel's Landing. This hike routinely pops up on hikes of the best hikes in the national parks, most dangerous hikes in the national parks, best hikes in Utah, best hikes in the country, most dangerous hikes in the country. Take your pick. It's usually on the lists of best hikes and most dangerous hikes, or scariest hikes. And so I've never done this hike, believe it or not. Well, I've never hiked up this trail. I have hiked down this trail, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But yeah, I'm ready to go. It is 7:13. The parking lot is pretty full already, and I'm excited. Let me get some stuff together, and then we'll hit the trail. So here are some stats on the Angel's Landing Trail. Man, look at all these people. That'll be me here pretty soon. Angel's Landing via West Rim Trail. Round trip 5.4 miles. About 1,500 feet of elevation gain. Strenuous. And this is the view of Angel's Landing from the trailhead. Going to be hiking up kind of back behind it to here and then up to the top. It's cold this morning. It'll obviously warm up a little bit as the day goes on. It's also windy, and I'm not entirely sure if that is gonna stick around or if it'll stop. Hopefully it'll stop. I don't want to get blown off the top of the mountain here. So one thing this trail is known for are some pretty steep or rather tight switchbacks. They go up right here. Don't know if you'll be able to see the people here. So after the hairpin switchbacks up the side of that slope, the trail enters this kind of narrow canyon and goes straight for a while until it hits the, I guess the edge of the shoulder of Angel's Landing. There's another set of switchbacks over here. Steep, steep, steep. Okay, we're at the base of the ridge here. I think this is the spot where things start to get interesting. Since 2004, 10 people have died here. It's sad that they had to white out 9 or whatever was there before and change it to 10, so I guess people keep falling. Well, so far so good. I'm not number 11 yet. So the trail keeps going along here. I think this is one of the sketchier sections up this ridge. But this is Angel's Landing up here. This is the top. And this is its dramatic face, its north face. Remember how I said that I've hiked down this trail but not up? Well, I hiked down because I climbed this. There's a famous big wall route, rock climbing climb called Prodigal Son. It goes basically straight up the middle of this. It took us a couple days to do it. Yeah, this part here, this is where one false step would lead you into a world of hurt. On the other hand, you'd probably be dead before you felt too much pain, so I guess it's not all bad. This is super cool. Very narrow knife edge ridge here. What a great hike though. This is so neat. You know, there were quite a few people for the first half of the hike, but it's thinned out a little bit since getting up to the steep and narrow sections. Great, second day with this camera. It's already fallen over. It's doing something weird with the autofocus. Hopefully that's just a setting I can figure out and not the premature demise of my camera. I think this is the top up here, and I think I might have it all to myself. There are a couple people over here, but this looks like the summit to me. Let's go up here and then find somewhere to sit down. Oh, did it. I'm on top of Angel's Landing. What a hike, what a cool hike. Beautiful views in every direction here. What a place. So here's the view looking down over that super steep face. You can see the Virgin River down below and the upper reaches of Zion Canyon here. Beautiful spot, beautiful day. And not too many people up here. That's really nice. It's still nice and quiet. Alright, looking at the stats up here from my hike, about 2.4 miles each way, 1,400 feet of elevation gain. It took me an hour and 11 minutes. Gonna head back down now. I think I'm gonna have my GoPro rolling the entire time so that we can just get a nice time lapse of the whole way down. And I am back in the car. It took me about 50 minutes to get down, just under an hour. Great hike, really great hike. Definitely one of the classic national parks hikes in the United States. Definitely worth doing. The question is, how dangerous is it? How dangerous do I think it is? How does it compare to other hikes in national parks? I personally didn't feel it was all that dangerous, but I have a rock climbing background, and so it was pretty trivial for me. If you're afraid of heights, it'll be scary. If you're not sure on your feet, not solid on your feet, it might be a little bit scary. There aren't too many parts where if you fall or slip, you're gonna die. I guess there are a couple of them, but most of the time you're gonna have to like jump off the edge to die, I think, or do something really stupid, like go way off the trail. Overall, it's something that mortals can do if you're okay with heights. If you're not okay with heights, you're probably going to want to choose a different hike. But overall, awesome hike. Really great hike. I'm glad I did that. It's now 9:42. Still have a good chunk of the day left, but I don't have a ton of time. I think I'll do one more little hike, a shorter, easier hike here in Zion National Park, in Zion Canyon, if I can find parking. And then I'm gonna head out of the park and go see something, and then I've got a several hour drive back northward. So yeah, let's go on to spot number 2 in Zion National Park. So I'm gonna do the Riverside Walk now. 2 miles round trip, and it's pretty flat and easy along the river here. But yeah, this is a pretty flat, easy, mellow, nice hike. It might even be paved the entire way. It'll be a nice cool down, nice come down after that last hike that was a bit more strenuous. The trail parallels the Virgin River here, and there are several different access points. There are lots of little side trails going down to the river if you want to do that. This is also the ending of the Narrows, the famous Narrows hike in Zion. This hike that I'm doing just does like the very, very bottom part, but the business of it is farther upstream. So for the Narrows hike, you need to be walking through water for a long time. You're actually walking in the Virgin River. And so people like these guys up there are wearing waders to not freeze to death in that frigid looking water. Okay, I've reached the end of the line here, the end of the trail. From here on out, you're gonna want waders to walk through that frigid water. And that is up to the Narrows. So some people drive up to the top of the Narrows and then walk down, and some people walk from here up and then come back. How cool is that? I've actually never hiked the Narrows. That's something I need to do one of these days. You can rent the waders or the canyoneering pants, whatever those are. It's definitely something I'd like to do in the future. Just gorgeous back there. It took me about 40 minutes to get here. It was an hour, or 1.2 miles, I think it was. And just an amazing hike. I took my time and stopped to take pictures and just enjoy the scenery, check out the little side trails heading down to the river. What a great path, what a great trail. Definitely a trail you've got to do here in Zion National Park. Kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum to the last one. The last one, Angel's Landing, is up here. This one's kind of down here, but both just excellent hikes. I'm about 20 minutes outside of Zion National Park now. There's a town outside of the park called Rockville, and if you depart the main road and kind of go through Rockville, you get to an old town, a ghost town called Grafton. And Grafton is called I think it's called the most photographed ghost town in the West, and also the most photogenic ghost town in the West. The buildings here have been restored a little bit, but in general, they look old and they look good. This place has been used for several film locations. Several movies have been filmed here. I think Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid was filmed here. And also 1929's In Old Arizona, which was the first talking movie filmed outdoors. I thought that was pretty interesting. So this town was founded in 1859. And it went until 1921. It was abandoned in 1921. Basically, the problem with this town site is that the Virgin River, which is that river that flows through Zion National Park, it kept flooding. It kept flooding the town site. And also, this particular section of the Virgin River is especially silty, and so it was just hard for them to grow crops here, and they kept getting flooded. And so eventually, they just abandoned this town, and they moved to other places on the other side of the river that were more easily accessible and better defensible, I guess, against floods. So there are several buildings here. Let's start over on this end, but there are several old cabins and beautiful old, I think this is a church and maybe a schoolhouse. There are a few other cars here, but just a beautiful little town. Yeah, let's go start over at this end where there aren't any people yet. So here's the first house. Pretty little brick house. I don't know if those are like clay-fired bricks or if those are little sandstone blocks. Not entirely sure. It would be a lot of work to cut that many sandstone blocks, but it's the same color as the sandstone over here, so I'm not entirely sure. You can't go into this one. Private property. I don't know if you can go into any of them, but at least you can walk around and take a look at them. Over here, looks like there's an old cabin or barn or something. What a beautiful place. What a beautiful location. It'd be amazing to live here. Decimation to your crops by floods aside. As long as your livelihood isn't being attacked at every turn. This is a really pretty place. Another little wooden cabin here. But this is the real gem here. I believe this is the church? Okay, so this is the schoolhouse and church here. It was used as both back in the day. Built in 1866. And the timbers to build this were cut from Mount Trumbull 75 miles away, then hauled over. And then this over here is a house that dates back to, 1862. This little house cabin over here is from 1879. That first house we looked at is from 1877. So basically these all date to the late 1800s, and there's the church slash school and then several houses. That's what these buildings were. And I'm guessing that, yeah, the doors on the church schoolhouse are locked. Now let's go into this little cabin on the right. Oh wow. Let me get in the corner here so you can see the whole thing. Very low ceiling. Nice little brick hearth in the corner. I mean, the ceiling is maybe 7 feet. Got a couple of nice rooms. Yeah, plenty of space for a family on the frontier. I like that these buildings haven't been like fully restored, just kept up. Now let's go into this one across the way here. And yeah, I'm fairly certain these are clay bricks. They look like clay bricks, not so much like sandstone. Nice little room in here, nice little house. Again, it hasn't been completely made perfectly perfect, which I really like. Nice big room back here. And then I think there's some stairs over here for a nice little upstairs, a couple of bedrooms. Nice house. I mean, it's a pretty good sized house for back in the day. How cool. Let's finish it off with a little tour of this final cabin over here. This one is just one room. A one-room cabin. Decent size though, still spacious. I mean, this is maybe 10 or 12 feet this way and 20 feet this way. What a neat little spot. I'm glad I came here. Wow, I cannot see the screen on my camera. So these polarized sunglasses are new, and this camera is new, and so I haven't used them in conjunction very much, but yeah, I cannot see the screen at all with these glasses on. That's not great. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. This is the end of the video. It's about noon. I'm gonna drive back up to northern Utah, stay with my parents who moved there last year. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite part was. Let me know what your experiences have been like in Zion National Park. It's definitely not a secret national park. I'm guessing a lot of you guys have been there too. What was your favorite part when you were there? What did you do that you can recommend to me and also to other people watching the videos? So thanks again. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and one more thing really quick. This is the little cemetery that's just outside of Grafton. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.